Hello, everybody. I just got out the shower and I did a little prayer in the shower. And God just put on my heart to just vent a little bit about what I've been going through, how I've changed my thought process and what I've been through, and how it's helped me. So, to make a long story short, I am legally married currently, presently. That is to change in the near future with God's grace. But I was in a relationship that didn't serve me, that didn't build me, that didn't better me, that didn't lift me, that didn't raise me, that didn't challenge me for the better. I stayed in a relationship that drained me, in a relationship where I was tricked into thinking I needed to give more. And it made me question myself as to why I stayed. And if I'm being completely honest, I stayed because I didn't want to fail. And I stayed because I felt as though I could do more. Because in essence, that is my personality. I choose to take responsibility for my part that I played, which is that I didn't speak my truth. And what I did instead is I allowed others to dictate what it is that I thought I wanted, instead of articulating to them what it is that I needed. I was in a relationship with a person that continuously hurt me over and over. And you might ask, well, Selena, what kind of hurt? There's different types of hurt. You have physical, you have emotional, you have psychological. And I would say all three. I would say primarily more psychological and mental abuse that I was going through. And I'll elaborate. This person that I chose to give my heart to, knowing that they could possibly, how am I going to say this? Knowing that we were not evenly yoked. Let's say that. This person was not educated, not in the traditional sense. And they had lack of self-confidence, and I knew this, but I saw myself in them. And I had self-confidence issues too when I was younger, and I managed to push past that and see another perspective of myself. So it's like I was in love with the fact of helping this person. And I did help them. I helped them to accomplish and achieve a lot. But as I was pouring myself into them, it was never any reciprocity. And not only that, when I was in pain or when I was hurt or in a low or sad type of mentality, they found pleasure in that. If there's one thing I could say to other females, 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds that just live in this life and starting to date and entering in serious type of relationships, I would say gauge yourself in every relationship, engage the person, and be honest. Because I was not honest. I made a lot of excuses. Excuses. And not only that, I allowed people to project what they wanted into my psyche and made me think that's what I wanted. And they probably didn't do it purposely. I don't think they did. I think they were trying to help. For example, my mom. I didn't want the person that I ended up having 4 children with. When we first started dating, I had a child from a previous relationship, and that relationship was not good either. I was actually leaving that first relationship, and I was coming to start a new life in Philadelphia. And I met this other person, and he was helping me out and really showed that he wanted me, and that felt good. Now looking back, I see that I was a target. He saw that I was in need of something, and he felt as though he could give that. What he really did is he used me to get what he needed. And I can't say for sure that he loved me, because I don't think he loves himself, and I don't think he's capable of something or giving something that he never had. And his story is deep. Yeah, he didn't have a mother, father was barely around, and all those things made me want to show him love, because my family's freaking amazing. My family is supportive. We we bind together in times of need. We support each other in hard times. We look out for each other. Yeah, we argue, we have our moments, but worse comes to worse and push comes to shove, we there for each other. And he saw that. And I think he admired that. And the same thing that he admired in my family is the same thing he despised me for. So when I would help him, it was okay. But if I was trying to focus on myself, it was like no attention. That wasn't important. That's another sign. Real love doesn't hurt, and it doesn't get satisfaction from seeing another hurt. I now know that the relationship that I was in for going on 10 years, after doing a lot of soul searching, and I say that lightly and I say that loosely because that is a whole nother video in itself. Um, how I basically changed my perspective. Let me not get out of topic. How I changed my perspective. So in that whole 10 years of suffering, not being happy, gaining weight, just not loving myself because the person that said they loved me never showed me love. I mean, just imagine you are 6 months pregnant and you ask your significant other to rub your stomach, because you know how we are, us girls. When we're pregnant, we just need a little bit more attention. And I asked him to rub my stomach, and he would not. He would not rub my stomach. And not only that, he ended up ignoring me for 3 weeks. And me being an empath and always wanting to fix everything, I would cry, like, why are you doing this to me? I'm pregnant. Why? Again, at this point, at this stage in our relationship, you're doing this again. And I will always have to come to him and beg and say, please talk to me, please. And then he would talk to me. And then he would say, I understand that you hurt. I'm not going to do it again. And then the next week, maybe I said something that he didn't like, and then he would malice me again or ignore me again. That's why I say it was more mental, more emotional. he knew I would get hurt from the distance. Not only that, we moved to a different state. All of our families in another state. And we moved to a completely different state. Me thinking, oh, this is my family. This is our chapter. This is our legacy that we're building. Let's move to another state where we can just focus on us as a family, the nucleus, you know. And that's what I was thinking. But what he was thinking is to seclude me. Now looking back, I see. And that's what he did, you know, to get me away from everybody else that could possibly see when his face slips or when his mask slips. Not only that, I was tricked into thinking, you know, whatever happens in the house, this is our marriage, this is our relationship, and if you tell people, you know, it's just going to be worse. So then I'm sitting here sad, depressed, lonely, but when I would go visit my family, they see him and he's talking and he's, you know, excited and, you know, very, you know, energetic, and they're like, oh, you're so lucky. And I'm just like, be careful when you project your issues or your opinions on other people or other relationships. Be careful doing that. You don't know what any one person is going through. It might look so good from the outside, but oh God, you just don't know. And I'm not saying that all relationships are like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that most of the ones that look perfect, those are the ones that probably have the most issue. I know that because I would barely post anything. I have a Facebook, barely am on Instagram, but I have a Facebook and I barely post it. Why? Because I was not happy. I had nothing I wanted to share with anyone. My life was miserable. Okay? I'm in this relationship with this guy that continuously hurts me and that I continuously protect. The relationship started turning into more of a roommate type of situation. You're supposed to be my husband, but you won't touch me because you're upset with me. And I don't know why you're upset with me. And you won't tell me, but you choose to not talk to me for months. That's just not healthy. I want to shed light on these types of things because I used to be the person, the female, in my mind, I always thought I was a divine feminine. I always thought, what? Wouldn't no man ever do that to me? No, because I would pack my bags and I'm out, you know? I was that girl. And that girl is still within me. But I want to explain how I fell from grace, meaning how I fell from being that girl. I fell because I lost sight of who I was, and I allowed someone else's opinion to be more important than my own. That's the mistake that I made. I lost the relationship between me, myself, and I. That's why. That's why it was easy for a person that has that negative type of energy. That's why it was possible for them to seep through the crevice. Because that's exactly what freaking happened. I mean, looking back now, I could say that my spirit was in warfare. And I say that because before meeting this person, I've never gone through anxiety. Never had depression, always been happy. Even when I'm sad, I'm happy. I'm just that type of person. I can find the the positive in any situation. I'm still like that, and that's a gift. And I'm getting that back, but that thing that made me, I lost sight of. When you are around a toxic person, it will literally drain you. I used to not be able to sleep. I would have anxiety attacks. My heart would race, it would pound. I don't know why. I just have this unshaken feeling that something bad is about to happen. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm having this feeling, but looking back, I know exactly why I was having that feeling. It's because the person next to me was giving off this energy. This person that I was laying next to, his intentions were never good for me. And I knew that. But I allowed other people to convince me to stay. Oh, for the kids. But I can't sleep. And I can't function. And when I would go to this person and say, babe, I don't know what's wrong with me, you would think they'll be like, baby, you okay? They'll be like, oh, it's not that serious, man. You just gotta stop. You just gotta stop thinking about stuff like that, man. Just stop. To even say, can I have a hug? All right, man, I'll give you a hug, but you taking this thing too far, man. You gotta stop this. It's not love. When you are inconvenienced to the person that says they love you when you're hurting, their job is to build you up. Their job is to make you feel better, because I know I was that for them. I was that for them. You know, they would talk down on themselves. Oh, you know, I don't have an education. I can't read. I would say, no, don't talk about yourself like that. I'll help you. And I did. And they got to a point in their life where they became very confident, which is great. I don't want to take that away from them. I am happy that they have confidence. But it's sad that the person that gave it to you, you have so much satisfaction from disrespecting them, talking down to them, belittling them, ignoring them, not giving them their flowers for the flowers they handed you when you needed it. So, towards my story, that is a way that you'll know a toxic person. It is never enough for them. They're never grateful. They're never happy when you do something. They're never appreciative. They always feel like you could have did more. You should have did more. You are never enough. Okay? And that's not true, because I'm the fucking shit, okay? I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm just saying I'm a God-fearing person. I'm a good person. And I really want to see the good in other people. And I want to make a positive impact on the world. And I want my children to be good people. Like, I just want to be a vessel for good. And that heart of mine that I have is the same heart that attracts people like that. Toxic people. They see your soft heart and they see your caring and kind nature and they take advantage of it. And that's what happened to me. And I've come to grips that's what it was. It's sad that we have 4 children together. Ooh, well, that just opens a perfect segue. So we do have 4 children together, and I would say that that is the hardest part. And that is why I decided to take my power back. It was for my children. All these years being in this relationship, I made excuses as to why I should stay. And all my family said, you have to bear, you have to hold on. Marriage isn't easy, and you cannot just give up. And you guys have children to consider, and they need both parents together, and it'll be selfish if you leave. And what kind of mother would you be if you just walk out and walk away from everything that the children know? Like, that would be selfish, and da 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 da. And I believed that for a long time. I really felt like I have to stay in this hell of a relationship, this hell of a marriage, this hell of a partnership for the children. Let me tell you what made me change my mind. 2020, I had my son. I have 4 girls. Um, and one daughter is from a previous relationship. So I have 4 girls, and the last one is a boy.